Here's an update on how Magik, our blue-headed Pionus, is doing. We got him 2 months ago to give company to Bonzai, our bronze-winged Pionus. Both are males. Magik was in quarantine for the first month, which is what this video is about. Many people recommend 2 months of quarantine instead of just 1, but Magik had already been tested by the shop for some of the most common bird illnesses, so I thought that 1 month would probably be enough. Not just that, but he must have felt a bit lonely during quarantine, and I didn't feel like extending the ordeal any further. In the shop I got it from, he was surrounded by many other birds, although with no direct contact. So it must have been quite a bit of a shock for him to be by himself all of a sudden, without the noise from the other birds. I have been playing easygoing music during the day, like reggae or trip-hop, to compensate. It took Magik a few days to get used to his new surroundings. During that time, he didn't move much. He spent the days looking through the window next to his cage, where he got to see many wild birds. There are a lot of them around here. It was also the first time ever that he saw trees and nature, and he seemed to enjoy that. I started with just one toy in his cage, so as not to overwhelm him, and then little by little I added more. As you can see, the perch setup is not ideal with that gap in the middle. I should change that in the near future with a longer perch that runs side to side. In the shop, he was only fed seeds. So I got a bucket of the same exact seeds and started mixing pellets with them, since pellets are healthier. If you're wondering what kind of pellets I use, here's the packet. They are made in Spain and they're pretty good ones. I'm glad to report that Magik took an immediate liking to the pellets. Now he eats mostly pellets, the seeds now being only a small proportion of his diet. I also introduced him to fresh fruits and veggies, mostly veggies in fact to avoid too much sugar. Just like Bonzai, he only has 1 fresh serving a day at lunchtime, and the menu changes every day, typically with 4 or 5 different types of fruits and veggies. I don't chop them fine like some people do. I chop them very coarsely, which my bird seems to enjoy, as they can hold each piece with their feet and take a few bites of it before dropping it. During the month of quarantine, I let him out 3 times a day for an hour each time. When he was out, I would put Bonzai in his cage in the living room downstairs because I don't want to leave any of my birds unattended, just in case one of them decides to chew on a power cable, for instance. Magik spent quite a bit of time on top of his cage, playing with food toys and relaxing. He also likes to be on the playground on the other side of the room. I like the fact it has bars on the side, which Magik loves to climb up and down. I did not overload the playground with toys, but he particularly seemed to enjoy eating carrots there. He would often fly between the cage and the playground, as well as fly in circles around the room. Obviously, it's a very small room for him to fly, but that will change the following month as he joins Bonzai in the living room. You'll get to see that in my next video. I also started to give him showers. One morning, Magik was eating his pellets when he spotted a ring-necked dove taking a bath on top of our garage. The dove was then joined by a wood pigeon and then another dove, all taking their bath together. I thought it was the perfect opportunity to give Magik his first shower. I'm pretty sure that was his first shower ever. In case you're wondering, I use a mist bottle from Back Zoo Nature. They've recently revised the spraying element and it works even better than their previous version, which I also had. As far as his personality is concerned, Magik so far seems to be quite shy and very kind. He is super affectionate and hardly ever makes any noise. We will see if that continues, since he is just a baby. But Bonzai was a lot noisier at the same age, also with way more character. The main issue I have with Magik is that he is scared of hands. Probably a bad experience with the breeder or when he was at the shop. I am trying to work on that, but I can tell it's not going to be easy. I have managed to get him to accept scratches, mostly because he seems to be a very cuddly bird, but still, stepping up is out of the question. In the meantime, I found a workaround. I carry him around on a perch. This is how it goes. First, I show him a piece of dried pineapple, which is his favorite. With that as a bait, he climbs on the perch. When we've arrived at destination, then he finally gets the reward. This allows me to take him from a place to another without ever having to grab him, which would certainly worsen his fear of hands. That was particularly useful when I took him to the vet for a checkup. which was 1 week before the end of the quarantine. I chose a vet that was quite far from where I live, almost an hour and a half to get there, because the avian vets that were close to where I live did not really convince me from the Google comments I read. This concludes this video about the quarantine. In my next video, I will show you the first meeting between the two birds. They will share the living room together during daytime, then sleep in the same bird room. Will they get on well, or will they hate each other? Make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss that video. Thanks for watching, and see you soon with more videos.